Okay, couple books here that I highly suggest. Um, First one is Influence by a gentleman, Robert B. And I had to look this up on how to pronounce his last name. Cialdini or Caladini. He's a PhD. He's a professor in, I believe, marketing and psychology at the University of Arizona. And he wrote this book called Influence, which is considered by many marketers, especially many online marketers, to be the equivalent of the Bible for marketing. Basically, what he lays out are 6 characteristics that are the same across any socioeconomic group of individuals. This is human being based. It has nothing to do with your gender, your race, your age, your location, your socioeconomic status. We all do this, whether we think about it or not. And it goes back to the days, if you read the book, it'll go into this. It goes back to the days when we were all tribal and what we had to do to get along in the tribe. It has gotten into our subconscious. It is something that we really don't notice that we do, but we do. So as you're going through, even if you don't read the book, and I highly suggest you do if you're going to be doing any marketing, but even if you don't read the book, write these 6 things down and remember to include at least 2 of these in every piece of promotion or marketing that you do. We'll talk more about them going down the road here. Next one is Up the Loyalty Ladder. This is a great book for these main 2 points. First off, you got to get your customers to know, like, trust, and value what you're putting in front of them. First of all, they have to know, like, and trust you, and then they have to value what you're offering them more than what they have in their pocketbook. I have there that you don't propose except marriage on the first date, and you wouldn't bring out your most expensive product to your prospect the first time you open your mouth. If you only remember one thing, do remember this out of this presentation: know, like, trust, value. Because if you don't close a sale, there's a failure, and it's almost always between trust and value. Either 1, they don't trust you, or 2, they don't value what you're offering, or both. So do remember that. Next one is the 80-20 principle. Love this book for this one thing: you cannot control what you don't measure. And this is especially true in your marketing. You will end up spending a ton of money not having any idea what happened, or you'll just pick something to blame in the marketing. If you don't measure it, you don't know where the fail is. So this is just basically a feedback loop. Plan, execute, measure, analyze, update, and repeat. Just keep going over and over and over. And then lastly, the E-Myth Revisited by Mr. Gerber. And the main question and the main thing I got out of this book is, and for me anyway, am I working in my firm or on my firm? If I'm working in my firm, I can't work on my firm. I mean, I can't grow it. I can't do the marketing. I can't do the high-level stuff that I need to do to be growing my firm. And Jeff talks about this quite a bit in a lot of his presentations, and other people do as well, is what type of work are you doing? Are you doing the $50 an hour work, or are you doing the $250 an hour work? It makes a difference. Okay, things to keep in mind: consistency, consistency, consistency. Do not stop. You need to measure. Always have a constant feedback loop. One of my favorite quotes from Steve Jobs was that the one thing, I've messed up the quote, but one of the things that he noticed amongst all successful people, more than anything else, was persistence. They never give up. Another quote from Walt Disney: keep moving forward. Love that one. And if it works, scale it. If not, adjust it or stop it. And this addresses mainly the marketing that you're doing. Always be measuring, always be moving forward, always keep at it, but always look at it. And if it's working, do more. If it's not working, figure out why it's working or stop. I say here your number 1 metric is ROI, and that means time and money. And I would change that a little bit. I would say really that is your only metric. Until you get into a marketing channel, a campaign, unless you're looking at exclusively ROI, to me, you're not going to know whether it's working or not. And here's just a little quick formula: is how much you're spending on your marketing, what is your time and your rate, because your time, in the end, what I have found, will be your most valuable resource in your marketing. You can spend a lot of money, but you can waste a whole lot of time. Okay, Real quickly, last thing on marketing and influence. Rule of thumb, how to gauge if you're working with a marketer, and I got this from a copywriter actually, that puts your interest first. And really the main thing is research. Are they doing research to understand you and your business? More importantly, are they doing research to understand you and your potential clients and customers? Because that is the key. Good copywriters will go off and spend 2 to 4 weeks, sometimes longer, doing nothing but researching your market, your potential market, to find out how to craft the most effective, the most efficient message to deliver to them. If somebody is not willing to do research, or they're just basically selling you whatever they have in their toolkit, then they're primarily working for them. And that's not always a bad thing. I mean, if they have a really good, efficient tool, then that's what they need to be doing. But you need to look at that, or I always look at that. Are they willing to really look at my customer base? Because my customer base for CPE Think is CPAs. And trying to get just your general internet marketer out there to look at CPAs and understand them has always been a challenge for us. We have yet to find somebody that really, really dives deep into the CPA market, unless they're already there. Just because CPAs are a different market. They are a fiduciary. They are a trusted advisor. There's a lot of things that CPAs do that no one else does, or very few people do. So it is a different market, and finding somebody to actually look at that has been a struggle for us. And then the last thing here is, when you're as you're approaching this, there's 2 ways to learn basically. And I got this from a sales guy named Grant Cardone. Is basically you can learn by experience, which takes time and can be very, very expensive because of the time it takes. Or you can learn by studying, training, rehearsing, practicing, going over it over and over and over again. And this is what athletes, actors, doctors, CPAs do. They learn first, then they learn by experience. So look at what you're doing first, understand as much as you can. I know you've got a business, you don't have a lot of time to do this, but don't learn by experience. Experience is the very slow, very expensive way to learn. By the time you're 80 and retired, you will probably have learned it, but by then it's too late. So you want to learn up front before you actually get out there, and as much as you can anyway, before you get out there and spend